Yeah, so I just want to tell you how much I love training camp. I think it's great. It gets us mentally prepared, physically prepared, just ready for the season. I love the grind. I love everything about it. Not really. Really hate training camp with a passion. I hate getting up early in the morning. I hate going to sleep late. I hate it all. I hate getting in my shoulder pads, grinding for like 8 hours, then having to go back out there. I hate the whole idea of training camp. I hate it. I can't go home and lay in my own bed. I gotta look at my teammates all day without getting a break. Training camp is terrible. It's terrible. I hate it. I mean, I understand why we do it, but I don't like a day, a second, a minute, any of it. Any of it. If we can go without training camp, I'll steal some years of my life, and I think everything will be better for me.
All right, man, I give Melvin Gordon credit. That's about as candid as you're going to get. For the record, I love training camp. I also don't get hit. This is Inside Training Camp Live, presented to you by Mitsubishi Motors. Melvin Gordon last year had a bust-out season. Some people thought he was, I don't want to say bust, but a disappointment year number one. But coming off major knee surgery, he was back, he was healthy, he was in the end zone, and he had nearly 1,000 yards, but he did get 1,400 from scrimmage. And now Melvin Gordon is a member of the L.A. Chargers. He and Phillip Rivers and company have moved up the road to Costa Mesa, California, where along with Joey Bosa, they were on the practice field today for the very first time in their new home. Let's get back to Melvin Gordon. Alex Flanagan tracked him down.
All right, having a little fun out here with running back Melvin Gordon after day one of practice is finally in the books. I appreciate the look right now. Who has better style, you or Joey Bosa?
Probably Bosa right now. I don't know. Some people might not like the short shorts. I got this from Danny Woodhead, so I appreciate him for that.
The short shorts I hardly noticed. I'm looking at the short shirt.
Yeah. I'm a little old school how I dress, man. So it's just what it is.
Do you cut that yourself?
Yeah, I cut it. I just don't like my shirts being like super tight around me. I like to breathe a little bit. On game day, I wear a full shirt, but in practice, I like to breathe a little bit.
Give me your evaluation, day one now in the books.
Yeah, just a little rusty. Just a little rusty. Like I said before, it was the first day. It's expected. But we have a long time before we play Denver for our first game. So we have a lot of room for improvement.
Bosa talked earlier today just saying that the level of competition feels a little bit different this year compared to last year. Is that true for you?
Yes, they definitely preach competition. That's been one of the main focuses this year is competition. Seen earlier, we made a big crowd and Coach called out a couple players like, okay, y'all got to go get it, So that's just what that's what we need to build on. So come the game on Sunday, that's just second nature to us.
Seems like some of the personnel moves they've made indicate that they're going to feature the run game more. I mean, they bring in a left tackle that's really good at the run game. Is that the sense you're getting as well?
Yes, ma'am. But our sense is to be balanced. We don't want to be too run heavy, which I would love, but we don't want to be too run heavy or too pass heavy. We want to be balanced. Obviously, they got me. They picked up some offensive linemen, like you said, but we also got some, amazing combo with the tight ends, receivers, and we got Phil. Future Hall of Famer. So, we're going to pass the ball. We definitely going to do that. But I want to be balanced because that's how you win.
Phillip seemed really excited, said he had some nerves today coming out here, but he said what he can tell about this team after day one is that you guys have the right people in the right places.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We definitely have the right pieces. We have the right pieces to the puzzle. It's just about putting it together.
You have to stop calling me ma'am.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, Melvin. Good to talk to you. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Like Melvin Gordon, there he is with Alex Flanagan today on the practice field. I'm Andrew Siciliano. Aditi Kinkabwala is with me. Brian Billick joins us as well on Inside Training Camp Live. Brian, the Chargers are kind of the in vogue pick here, I think, in a lot of people's eyes after they hired Anthony Lynn and some of the offseason additions. That was assuming Mike Williams would play. But they've missed the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, only one trip to the postseason in 7 years, 10-plus losses in each of the last 2 years. Brian, what am I missing here?
Well, I think a lot of the optimism may indeed come from the fact that division's going to have a little flux in it. Certainly Oakland's going to continue to be good, getting Derek Carr back. You got to know that in Denver, there's going to be a little bit of transition, some question about the quarterback position. Kansas City seems to, even though they're an awfully good football team, won the division last year, some questions about how much they really upgraded from last year. So there's no reason to think that San Diego, and you're right about the coaching, the best off-season acquisition. They've got two outstanding coordinators in Gus Bradley and Ken Wisenhunt. Ken Wisenhunt coming back, obviously, to where there's a familiarity with Phillip Rivers. You start with a Phillip Rivers. You have a Melvin Gordon. They've got a lot of reasons to be optimistic. I will say this, though. The transition that they're going through right now, no team has finished above 500 when they've had to come into a move like San Diego / now Los Angeles. And this is really killing me because I'm just now getting used to calling the Rams the St. Louis Rams. I got to go back to calling them the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know if I can. I'm from L.A., so this is hard for me. But the Chargers could be a surprise team, but I tell you what, everything about the transition of the offseason and what they're dealing with right now, that's a concern for me.
Yeah, it is rough, and the Rams went through it last year, and they moved all around Southern California, whether it was Thousand Oaks or whether it was Irvine for camp or whether it was the Coliseum, Agora for business offices. They were all over the map, and obviously that showed on the field a bit as well. The Chargers are going to have some guys actually driving home to San Diego because it is drivable. Granted, it is a horrible commute to go back and forth. They've relocated, but they've relocated only halfway back up the road to L.A. to be in Orange County. All right. LaDainian Tomlinson didn't relocate. He went back home recently, went back to camp with the Chargers and visited with Phillip Rivers. Let's go behind the scenes on that.
So you're 14, man. How do you stay motivated, Phillip?
I think for me, love to compete. You know, I still get excited to come in here and compete with the quarterbacks after practice or against our defense. We've got unfinished business, having not gotten to a Super Bowl, have not won one. So those team goals still drive you. But I think what sums it up for me is just the love to compete. I just can't imagine not competing.
You still playing like a young man out there. Guys like you and Tom Brady playing as good as ever. How do you stay young?
Yeah, I think some of it is they do protect us. I mean, they do protect us, you know, so we're not taking some of the crazy hits. And then I'm learning, just being a young country boy from Alabama, you just think, hey, you eat and you run and you play, and you know, now I'm going, oh, shoot. Right. At 35, it's like all those little things. Your diet has changed a little bit, stretching a little more, which I've always hated to do. I didn't even know I had hamstrings until a few years ago. And I was like, wow, my hamstrings are sore.
The greatest of all time.
If I just did my I'll never forget that one.
Three-piece suit right there. Pants, coat, and vest. When I was here, we got together at my house to play basketball.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Now, so you guys playing basketball in here, or do you got a place where you guys play?
Well, I'm having to shut it down a little bit. I'm like, all right, I may be in the 40 and over league here when I retire, but I just start thinking, gosh, if something crazy happens on that basketball court.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. So I just scored 10.
Yeah, I got your 10. Oh, so it's my play?
So it's your play. It's funny looking around this locker room, man. Nothing has changed, really, but the people. You know, locker room looks the same. You know, for us, during that time, playing dominoes, it was that camaraderie and that chemistry we built just around the domino table.
No question, because I think, too, in this profession, we're all in different stages of our life, right? I mean, I have my family and children. You were starting your young family at the time, but this was where you hung out.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what I think I'll miss. I'm sure you missed that part of it.
Absolutely.
The bus rides, your same seat, and us talking and laughing, all those things. That's what I think I appreciate more now as I've gotten older. Time flies. You used to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, you won your MVP in 06 and the Russian titles, and you're like, oh, he's your first ballot Hall of Famer. How many times did you hear him say that? You know,
I didn't really hear it.
And then just here you look up and it's real.
Players like yourself and guys who legitimately have a shot at the Hall of Fame, does it ever cross your mind?
I'd be not human to say you didn't hear it or go, golly, that's even crazy that somebody's mentioning it. But I don't think about it like, you know, what do I need to do to get there?
Yeah.
But this past year was really the first year. It was a tough season for us as a team, and I had some heartbreaking, terrible plays that ended games and lost some games. But this year was the first time that it hit me, passing Elway and touchdowns, and it's just all of a sudden, just some of the guys that when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, I was going, gosh, they were my favorites.
Yeah.
Aikman and Elway and Favre and Payton, those guys' posters.
Well, who was your favorite?
Favre was probably my guy. I felt like I resonated a little bit with the way he played. He wasn't as orthodox. I think as I got in the NFL and the more time I've been able to spend with Peyton and see him up close and play against him, he would be right there, and he will always be one of my favorites. So probably those two guys stand out the most. So you got to check him out.
Yeah. Hey, you turn those dominoes over. You remember. You turn them over, you better say something. You better say something.
Antonio Brown with his son Otto out there before practice. Otto. All right, coming up, we are asking this question. Is this division the Steelers to lose? And we have news from Baltimore on Colin Kaepernick. You want to hear it, don't go anywhere. Inside Training Camp Live.